What's going on, everyone? I'm the Intel, and today we'll be checking out the newly released RollerDrome, which launched on the 16th of August 2022 on PC, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. Today I'll be going over my first impressions of the game after playing it for a couple of hours. Before we begin though, I want to say a thank you to Private Division. They sent me a key for the game for PlayStation 5, and I want to just give a major shout out for sending me the key for PlayStation 5. Now that that's out of the way, let's not waste any more time and let's get started. RollerDrome looked great when it was revealed in June at a PlayStation State of Play event, and only a couple months later we can finally play it. RollerDrome actually confused me when I first saw it. I actually thought this was some multiplayer shooter thing. It had tons of style and I wanted to check it out anyway, even if it was a multiplayer title. But to my surprise, I did look into the game and it was actually a single player game with a fully massive single player story. It surprised me and I'm glad I got the chance to play this game because it's an unbelievably fun experience. I actually really highly recommend this game, but keep watching and you'll find out why I think you really should check out RollerDrome. Before you even get into the game has a ton of settings and accessibility options. The assist page allows you, if you're struggling, to turn on invincibility, infinite ammo, and tons of other things to help you get through the game, which is a really cool feature, especially if you're struggling with the game, as the game can be quite tough, as there's challenges to complete and they can be quite tough, so if you are struggling, this is a good way to get through those challenges and experience the story of RollerDrome. Talking about the story, let's talk about it. The game opens with some text to fill you in about the story, mostly about it being set in 2030 and a yearly competition which is aiming to be the biggest one yet, and it gives you a small introduction to your character Kara Hassan. The game then throws you into a tutorial which you'll be able to learn the tricks and skills you're going to need to learn to survive in the RollerDrome. You actually have a couple more tutorials to do in your first hour or two of the game. There's going to be a couple more tutorials for you to actually do, so the game gradually teaches you more and more advanced tricks, which I actually quite like. I like the idea of learning some tricks, play the game with them, kind of experiment with them, and then I learn a new trick, and then I learn how to implement that new trick with my old tricks. I actually think it's a really cool way to teach the player. Some story sections of this game actually take place in first person instead of the usual third person, high action, high speed gameplay, which is a nice change of pace. These first person sections give us a great insight to Kara's life, as in the very first person sequence we find out that she's in over $342,000 of debt, but the championship pays $348,000, showing Kara seems to be in the RollerDrome purely to pay off the debts that she has. RollerDrome is a super fast-paced game, and it has one of the most innovative, different, and fun movement and combat systems in a game I've played in quite a while. You can jump, grab, flip, grind, and more. There's tons of different moves you need to do as quick as you can, because doing these moves rewards you with points and ammo. Points don't really matter that much unless you're going for high scores, and to do challenges. But ammo, you're definitely going to want to do those tricks, because you're going to need ammo. These tricks are very important, because if you can't do them, you literally just don't have any ammo. But like we've talked about before, there are assists for infinite ammo, so if you think doing tricks to get ammo isn't something you like, you can turn on infinite ammo. But trust me, once you learn to do the tricks and how to really use them to their fullest potential, it's really goddamn fun. RollerDrome's main gameplay loop revolves around skating around a level and taking out the enemies inside. Usually snipers and melee targets, but more enemies get introduced throughout the game, such as characters that fire rockets at you, for example. And those enemies truly get harder and harder. Taking these guys out rewards you with some health, but it can get tough with multiple snipers shooting at you, rockets, shield guys. It's gonna be tough. You can also dodge enemies, which rewards you with ammo, by the way, if you time it right. I can only imagine this game is going to get really difficult the further you get into it. But don't worry, you do have the reflex mode, which if you hold L2, the left trigger, it slows down time, which is a major help. Trust me, don't forget about this. I forgot about it in my first arena and it was not a fun experience. Some weapons, like the shotgun, even have special timing in the reflex mode for extra damage. If you hit at the right time, you do bonus damage, which is pretty cool. Progressing through this game is mainly pulled off through completing challenges, something I'm actually not the biggest on in most games, as you have to complete up to 56 challenges to get to the end levels of the game, but they're not actually that hard, and I actually didn't find them that annoying. You can get most of them done in your first playthrough of a level, and they're actually not too bad. I actually enjoy doing it, when I usually hate doing challenges in games. I was actually quite surprised. There is actually timers in levels, and the timer might seem daunting at first, but trust me, those timers don't matter. I almost never hit those time limits, and you're still able to progress through the game normally. So don't worry, you don't have to be super good and super fast at the game to get through it. You can take your time and you'll get through the game and get to the end with no problem. You'll also unlock new weapons, like I mentioned, like a shotgun, for example, is really early on, and it adds a lot of variety to the game. And I don't want to spoil all the weapon types, but the other 2 weapons are actually pretty goddamn fun. They give you a lot of different ways to use the combat. They give you a lot of risk and reward, especially those other 2 weapons. But again, I don't want to give away what those weapons are. I think it's fun to experiment and find out for yourself. Now let's wrap up this quick video with my overall thoughts on the game. RollerDrome is a super fun game, and I highly recommend it to anyone who likes Tony Hawk's or extreme sports games. This game is super similar to most extreme sports games. Just imagine them with guns and you get a pretty fun experience. Just want to add a small side note here. If you have the PlayStation Plus Premium subscription, you can play 1 hour of the game on PlayStation Plus trials. And you'll also be able to pick up the game on a PlayStation Plus only discount for the first week of launch. So make sure to take advantage of that if you're interested in the game. The gameplay of this game is super fun and fast paced. Trust me, I'm not very good at it, but even I felt like a badass playing this game. You just feel so cool doing all these really cool moves and tricks in the air and killing all these enemies. It's a really fun game. This is a game I definitely want to play more of, and I hope to make a couple more videos about the game on the channel. Of course, if you guys enjoy the game though. But anyway, I want to say one last thank you to Private Division for giving me a code to play the game, and finally, thank you for watching, and of course, have a lovely day.